In this video, we're going to be talking about the 4 main chords in the key of D. So we don't need to worry about what that means. We're just going to be playing, just know that it's the key of D. So the first, I'm just going to play through all of the chords and then I'll show you how to do them. So this is the D chord. And then we'll also learn the A chord. And the G chord. And then remember when we talked about minors, we're going to have one minor, the E minor. So to play the D chord, we're going to use our first finger, remember that's your pointer finger, in the 2nd fret on the G string. So remember, make sure that's all the way on the tip of your finger so that it doesn't deaden the sound. And then your middle finger, so your 2nd finger on the high E string in the 2nd fret. And then lastly, your 3rd finger, so your ring finger in the 3rd fret on the B string. So make sure all of your fingers, you're using your fingertips, and then strum down. And don't worry about it, it doesn't have to sound perfect the first time, just make sure you just try your best to use the fingertips when you're strumming. And then take your hand off, we're going to reset and try that again. So again, it's your first finger on the G string in the 2nd fret, your 2nd finger on the high E string in the 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger on the B string in the 3rd fret. And then we're going to go over the A chord next. So that's going to be your first finger on the D string in the 2nd fret, your 2nd finger on the G string in the 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger on the B string in the 2nd fret. So all 3 of your fingers are in the 2nd fret. It's going to be a little bit like peanut butter jelly, really nice and squished, but make sure you have all of your fingers in the same fret, again using your fingertips. So strum that, and then we're going to take it off. Try again, shake it out. So remember, first finger on the D string in the 2nd fret, your 2nd finger on the G string in the 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger on the B string in the 2nd fret. So remember all of them in the same fret, and use your fingertips and you strum down. And then the next chord we're going to go over is your G chord. So this one's a little bit more of a stretch for your fingers, but you got this. So we're going to use our first finger on the A string in the 2nd fret, your 2nd finger on the low E string in the 3rd fret, and your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret high E string. So you have both of your E strings and your A string. And then take your hand off, we're going to practice that again. So again, it's your first finger in the 2nd fret on the A string, your 2nd finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and your 3rd finger on the high E string in the 3rd fret. And then we're going to do one more chord for the main chords in the D key, the key of D that we're going to be working on. So that's your 1 minor chord is the E minor. So you're going to just use 2 fingers for this one. So this one's different. So you're going to use your 2nd finger and your 3rd finger. So you're going to put your 2nd finger on the A string in the 2nd fret and your 3rd finger on the D string in the 2nd fret. We're going to try that one more time as well. So shake it out, and we're going to put your 2nd finger in the 2nd fret on the A string, and your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret D string. And that's your E minor chord.